about 30% of customers who pay dealer markups will never buy that brand again. Welcome back, GTC. This is Shane. Hey, it's a beautiful day. I'm actually heading down in my Toyota Camry XSE V6, and I'm getting service done today. Hopefully some tires rotated. I think I get the first 3 for free, which is nice, because I don't know if you guys have seen, well, of course you have. You go in and get an oil change, no more like, you know, $59.99, $79.99. It's like $130, especially if you add like an air filter or something. It's ridiculous. So everybody's squeaking out some extra miles on their oil changes. You know, so I tend to pay more attention to the percentage on the car, whether that's the most accurate, I don't know. But anywho, so some interesting news out of Auto News. I don't know if you guys subscribe to that. It's a cool little app. And I was kind of perusing through, and one of the articles caught my eye. It said that about 30% of customers who pay dealer markups will never buy that brand again. You know, why is that? So let's kind of play the scenario out. Let's say let's take my car. And you really want the Toyota, and you shop all over, and everybody's marking it up, and you pay $3,000 over MSRP. Remember, 3 years ago, nobody paid MSRP. I shouldn't say nobody. Very few, 5, 7. I think I did an article or a podcast. Listen to me. I think I did a video on this where I broke down how much the percentage of people who actually paid over MSRP. Probably less than 10%, if I can remember. Now it's like 70%. So let's say you go down, you buy your Toyota Camry, and they mark it up or $3,000, and you're paying MSRP, which sucks already. So here you are, you're already a little bit bitter about paying MSRP because there's no longer, you know, negotiations. Here it is. Basically what you're trying to figure out is playing the interest rate game, right? Credit union versus crappy interest rates going on right now. Then they mark it up another $3,000. So you kind of have a chip on your shoulder. Now, again, I'm just using my car as an example. So you're a bit bitter. You got the car you wanted, but again, you've got this chip on your shoulder because you know you paid over what you should have. And so what happens is over time, you have this expectation that this car better be dang perfect. It better be perfect.
Fool me once, strike one. But fool me twice, strike 3.
And if it's not, I'm gonna blast the service guy, I'm gonna blast the sales guy, I'm gonna blast whoever, because see, you're already angry and this sort of festers. And so I think about it all the time as well. You go down, you go to service, and you wait for 4 or 5 hours. You're kind of ticked off. You're like, I paid all this money for this car. So what happens is about 30% of those customers actually have a car that's not perfect. And they have something that, triggers them or sets them off. And they say, I'm never buying this brand again. And so what I think the article was really hinting at is dealer markups can actually turn people off to their brand and in turn hurt them again, because the second part of this is it may not be just the brand, it also may be your car dealership. So maybe you've bought 3 or 4 cars from one of those car dealerships that has multiple brands. It's got Toyota, it's got Honda, whatever. You now mark that dealership off your list. I know I did when I bought that Civic. It was not a fun experience. And we said we were happy to get out of there. We'll never buy from them again. And part of it was the dealer markup. So it's interesting. In the end, a lot of these dealerships are just sort of, in the name of greed, kind of like rubbing their hands together. Oh, look, we just gouged this guy for a $3,000 to $4,000 markup. Short-term gain, long-term loss, losing brand loyalty. Also, sales are not great right now. You got Honda that's down about 7%. You got Toyota that's down about 16%. So they're trying to make it up with losing dealer incentives and markups. playing the short game. I don't think it's going to work.
January 3, 2011, a day which will live infamously.
I'll share just a brief snippet of my experience. I almost walked away from the Camry. They had a little bit of a not much, but it was a little bit of a dealer markup on there. And I sat there and I thought, you know what? I didn't pay any markup on my Honda Accord, 0. And in fact, I had another gentleman right across the street that was like, we don't do markups, it's MSRP, but it was still 6 weeks out on the train or wherever it was at delivery. And I said to the guy, I said, are you willing to lose my business over your dealer markup? And he basically said, yeah. And so I think a lot of it is, if that's the lasting sort of taste in your mouth, the lasting impression that as a customer, I don't feel like we're in a scenario right now where there's dealerships earning our business. It used to be the sales guy working hard, doing discounts, here's the incentive, really working hard for you, making it look like they were working for you. Instead, there's this sense of they're just sort of sitting back on their laurels with their hands behind their head, and they're like, hey, you either want it or you don't, because we got other people that'll pay this. So I wasn't thrilled with that. They treated me fine, but at the end, that might be something that turns people off, and they just go, yeah, not going to do this anymore. Anyways, let me know your thoughts, guys. If you've been one of those 30% where you have been gouged with the dealer markup and are in the camp of raising your hand, I'll never buy this brand again, or I'll never buy from the dealership again, let me know. I'd like to just do a little poll on our channel, but I thought it was interesting. Until next time, GTC, take care, guys.